Welcome to Sean Can't Cook, but John Can. Sean and I have been actors for many years, but I assure you, this is no act. He really can't cook. I'm going to teach Sean, and you at home, how to feel more comfortable in the kitchen, preparing tasty recipes that even the most novice of cooks can create. I will show you step by step how to construct each dish so that when your friends come over, they'll ask, "How'd you learn how to make that?" If you already know how to cook, I hope you'll find a few recipes to add to your repertoire. Let's see what's on today's menu. Hello, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 4, our season finale, our third season finale.
Oh my gosh.
Of Sean Can't Cook, but John Can.
But I'm learning.
He's learning. That's good. That's different. I love it. He surprised me with that. I didn't know you were going to say that.
I know.
Yay!
I'm a professional.
He's learning. You are. Maybe we should switch sides and you show me what we're doing.
Okay.
That ain't gonna happen. You know it, and I know it. So, today, we're going to delve away from everything we've been doing, and we're going to make breakfast. Although, truth be told, how often do we eat these for dinner? A good bit. Once in a while.
More than they need to know.
Yeah. Yes, we do. But I love pancakes for dinner. They're good. And recently, I added the spices. If you don't want to use spices, you don't have to. Adaptable cooking. If you don't want to use oil, you can use applesauce instead, equal parts. I like the spices that gave them a little warmth, a little depth, a little different, but if you don't, leave them out. I'm going to put blueberries in mine. Sean is not. So let's get the Sean Can rolling, show you what goes into these delicious pancakes, and we'll come back and put them all together. The ingredients that you'll need for the pancakes are 1 1/4 cups of flour. Now I'm using 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour and 1/2 cup of cake flour. If you choose not to use cake flour, that's totally fine. There won't be a large difference. Just use 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. The other dry ingredients are 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 tablespoon, yes, this is not a mistake, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Again, not baking soda, baking powder, and I'm not going crazy, it's 1 tablespoon. The spices, and again, these are an option. You can use all 5 like I'm using, you can use 1 or 2, it's up to you. 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/16 of a teaspoon of each of these 4. Ginger, nutmeg, allspice, and cloves. Now, again, if you don't want to use those, you don't have to. To get a 1/16, just take 1/8 of a teaspoon measuring spoon and half. If it's a little more or less, that's okay. The liquid ingredients are 1 cup of milk, 2 large eggs, and this is 2 teaspoons of oil, and I don't know if you can see that, Sean. I've got 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla in the bottom of that. You can use between 1/2 and 3/4 of a teaspoon. If you don't want to use oil, you can substitute 2 tablespoons of applesauce. Some options you can put in. I'm going to put in 1/3 of a cup of blueberries in mine. Sean's going to make his plain. You can add strawberries, you could add raisins, dried cranberries, whatever you would like. The equipment that you will need is a bowl for the dry ingredients and a sifter to sift those. Another bowl for the liquid ingredients, so we're going to use a whisk to mix that up. A spoon to combine it all together. I'm going to cook them on a cast iron griddle. You can use any fry pan. We're going to put a little bit of butter down first so they don't stick, and you'll need a spatula to turn them. And that's it. Who's ready for some breakfast? So, now that you know what goes into the pancakes, let's put them together. Now, have you ever made pancakes?
No.
Like with a box or...
Like with nothing.
With nothing, okay.
Like I don't do pancakes.
So
I don't cook.
So here's the thing, but you're learning. You've already said that. I got it on film. So here's the thing. You can buy the boxes and they're pretty good. What I like about this is, first of all, you know what's going into them. You know the freshness of everything that you're putting into them. And again, the adapto. You don't want too much sugar. This is 2 tablespoons. I don't know why when I measured this, that looks like a lot of sugar.
It looks like
it's 2 tablespoons. It's sort of spread out, but it's 2 tablespoons.
A lot of sugar.
If you don't want that much, you can cut it in half and use 1 tablespoon. I've done that before. I've added a little cornmeal instead of some of the flour. Take out a little flour, add a little cornmeal. The spices, again, a new thing. I'm adding blueberries to mine. He's going to make his plain. This whole purpose of this show for me was to show people the template of how to cook. And you can adjust and adapt to your own liking, like you've done.
Yeah.
So let's get started. We're going to sift the dry ingredients first.
Okay.
So both of the flours go in here.
Why do we do this?
Sift.
Yes.
It aerates the flour, takes out any lumps, and the sugar and the other ingredients, the other dry ingredients. And for pancakes, you don't get a lot of time in the cooking process. So you want them to be light and fluffy, which is why it's a tablespoon of baking powder. So it just aerates the flour.
This is going in
yes,
too.
This all goes in.
So this gets sifted together.
Yes, yes. And it's a little messy from these large plates, so just do the best you can. So it aerates everything and makes everything a little bit lighter and fluffy. Did that answer your question?
It really did.
Okay, I want to make sure you get your questions answered. So that's everything. So sift away.
Okay.
La 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 la. And usually this makes a nice little white cloud of flour and everything.
I can't even sift as fast as you can.
Well, why? Because you're learning. You haven't learned. You're learning.
But like, how come my file doesn't go down?
But this is good because, a little trick, this is more for muffins, cakes, something that's thicker. Like pancakes are very thin. But you normally would put the blueberries in the flour. It coats them so that, like in a muffin, they won't all sink to the bottom. You know, you had blueberry muffins before. What's so funny? I don't know what I said that was funny, but okay.
I have these rocks that I do. That's what I was like.
You can just rub your hands over them, and whatever goes through, and whatever doesn't, just throw it in the sink.
I look, I have like calcium deposits.
Oh my god. Well, that's why it's probably the sugar. So.
All right. But go back to your blueberries.
Yes, I'm going to go back to your blueberries. So stir this up a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm just coating the blueberries with the flour in here.
I'm coating nothing.
These are very dry. Now what you're just going to do, just want to show people, you know, the little options. So once that's done, that goes aside, and we go to the liquid ingredients.
So is that done?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to put the eggs in first, so they don't plop into the milk. So in go the eggs. Make a little room over here.
That's actually a really good tip.
I didn't think of that until I was just doing this. I thought, well, I'm just going to put the milk in first. I thought, well, you know, if I put the
that's really
first,
smart. I mean,
yeah.
as a newer cook, I mean, obviously one can make a mess, but I'm always, you know, I'm going to splash myself.
Right. So.
Oh, and this has vanilla?
Oil and the vanilla. You can see now.
And what kind of oil?
I'm using canola oil, any kind of neutral oil. Don't use olive oil. Olive oil is great, but it has flavor. This is very neutral, doesn't have a lot of flavor. So canola, sunflower, safflower, any kind of neutral. Actually, we can do first is whisk up the eggs.
Okay.
Just don't go too fast because then the oil will go everywhere. So you can break these up a little bit so they're a little homogenized, like that. And then you can simply dump in all the milk. I know you're behind me, and that's okay. I'm
a slow eater and also apparently a slow cook.
I'm a fast eater and a faster cook.
Is that?
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to just stir this, whisk it a little bit until it's all together. Now, you want the batter when you mix these together to be lumpy. Well, that sounds weird. Well, it doesn't sound weird. You know, but you do. It's if you mix it too much, they're a little tougher. So you don't want to overwork the batter. And that's kind of a key thing with this, which is why we're mixing these separately. So that you can
look good.
Yeah. So we're not going to whisk this together.
Oh, we don't.
No, we're going to use the spoon.
Okay.
Some of your stuff out of the way.
Sure.
Don't crash. So now just pour the liquid on top of the dry.
Okay.
And It looks like too much, but it won't be. I'm doing the dipping down thing again. Why do I keep doing that?
I don't know, a little curtsy to your pancake.
I guess.
Hello, pancake.
So you're just going to slowly, you're sort of folding, stirring, mixing.
Is there hypergreen? Is there a term for this?
I don't know. I've never used my last name on the show before, but now everybody knows my last name. So, you can find me online anyway. So, just stir. Now, you want to make sure that it's not, you don't want to see any white streaks of flour. So,
Okay.
when I said it has to be lumpy, or should be lumpy, what I'm saying is just don't overwork it. And the glass bowls, you can do your little lift up trick and look underneath.
Oh, scrape the floor.
Scrape the floor. Our friend knows what that means. One of his, he's 4 years old, talked about this when he was watching. He said, you got to scrape the floor like John does, which is the bottom of the bowl. So I'm hoping to have them on as a guest someday. So we'll see. Hopefully that will happen. So again, there's still some flour in there, so make sure you don't overwork it. You're going fast this time. You're getting faster.
No, I'm just overworking it probably.
See, there's a lot of lumps in there. A lot of lumps, and that's good. Now, mine, of course, has lumps of blueberries. So if you want to do your little trick, you can look and see, oh, mine's good. So
and mine is not.
Okay, so again, just until this is all combined. So there. Mine is good. Now another little trick that I do, let's all look,
Oh, now there's still a spot.
is I let them sit for 20 to 30 minutes. The baking powder, it's double acting.
What?
You don't know what that means, do you?
What's double acting?
We were just talking about this before. He's like, what? You gotta tell
We're
him.
double acting.
We are double acting. Well, except you're not acting. You don't know how to cook. I can verify that. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Good grief.
It's the mean show. No, it's not. It's not.
It's pancakes.
You're learning though, and you are really doing a great job. You really are. I thank you for doing this because a lot of people would not have done this. That's good.
Okay.
So where was I? Double acting baking powder. Double acting. It works when it hits moisture, and it works when it hits the heat. So I like to let these sit for about 20 to 30 minutes. Now, if you're in a hurry, if you've got like kids waiting for pancakes and you need to make them, you can
have Sean waiting for pancakes.
Exactly. You can go ahead and just make these now. I just like to let them sit, thicken up a little bit, and then cook them. So we're going to get the griddle going after these sit for half an hour, and we'll show you how to cook some pancakes. You've never mixed pancakes. You obviously have never flipped pancakes, have you? You don't know, or is that a no?
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know.
So you're going to make some pancakes today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
I didn't know
All
that.
right.
I didn't tell him because I didn't want him to get scared.
No.
So you're going to make some pancakes. So let's let these sit for a little bit. We'll be back at the stove to show you what these look like. I've got some butter, and I've got a hot griddle going. I've been preheating it for about 5 or 6 minutes. Cast iron, you have to do that. The regular frying pans, you don't. So let's put a little butter down and get some pancakes going.
I like your new griddle.
Yeah, it's great. I've been using it on this show.
It's the real deal.
It is. So these are mine with the blueberries. And I just use a little measuring cup. I find it easier.
What size?
This is 1/4 cup, but I'm not even measuring these so much. I'm just sort of getting them so that I can get them on the griddle.
And how far apart do you put
You want to make sure you give them some space because they are going to spread out. And it's an art. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm sure I'm not the best pancake maker out there, but
No, I don't know.
But you like them.
I don't know.
So, again, you can use a regular fry pan if that's what you have.
I'm going to make you a badge that says best pancake
Oh, shucks. So, there you go. So, these are going to cook for a couple of minutes on this side. You'll start to see some bubbles forming on the top. See, there's one there, starting already. When you see more, then you'll know it's time to flip them. So, we'll come back and show you what they look like. So as you see, they start getting little bubbles on top. Bubbles probably isn't the right word. What would you call that, Sean? Pockets or...
Holes?
Holes. So, once that happens, you can start flipping them. Ta-da!
Oh.
They get a little done sometimes. I personally like them that way. You can watch them if you don't want them to get that way.
I like a little done.
Boop! Might see the blueberries in there in mine. So, sometimes you have to sort of scoot around and get to them. Also, the butter browns, which is why they get brown like that. The second side does not have to cook. Oh, see, I made a mistake over there. Whoops. And now these two, as you see, didn't get quite as done. You could flip those back and get those a little bit brown when you're done, if you want to. Otherwise, this is what they look like. And again, the second side, this one that I flipped, see, it doesn't take as long because it's already been cooked. So that one's ready to go.
Wow.
And we'll get the rest of these ready to go. And then we'll switch places and let you make some pancakes. Excited?
Good grief.
Stay tuned.
Watch out, world.
Here we are, folks. We have switched places. And now it's your turn to talk, Sean.
I have no words.
He's going to make some pancakes. He's going to cook.
Okay, so... Okay, is the griddle ready?
Yeah, the griddle's
All
hot.
right.
It's ready.
So, like, do I hold the bowl, like, over this thing like this?
Doesn't matter. They can drip.
Oh, okay. So, do you just use one, whatever's in one of these?
Even less. You'll know.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to make bigger pancakes.
I don't
That's
know
up
what
to
I'm
you.
doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Sean is making pancakes.
I am.
There you go. So again, we're going to look for the bubbles, holes, whatever you want to call them. And we'll come back and show you when he flips them. Time to flip them.
All right.
That happens.
Oops, I'll leave it alone.
Yeah, once you flip them,
You're
they
done.
need a good 30 seconds or so before you can really move them. Oh boy. Whee! Yours are big.
Like my cookies.
Which also, yours are fluffier because there's more batter there to fluff up. So, again, you make these any size you want to make them. Oh, got it in there. A little dark, but that's okay. One, you've never made these before, and two, I kind of like dark
And there's
pancakes.
sort of a spot in here where they...
Yeah.
I think the heat is a
Yeah.
little hotter there.
So again, you play and adjust and figure it all out. So let's eat some pancakes. Welcome to our pancake breakfast. Yum. So his are bigger, and as you can see, they're a little fluffier because there's more batter. Mine are a little smaller, thinner, crisper. A couple of burn edges on there, some burn edges there. It happens.
Yours are more snack size.
Yeah, well, and this is odd because I'm the bigger eater, so I don't know. Anyway, you can put whatever you want on top of these. Marmalade, jelly, peanut butter. I like just a little bit of pure maple syrup.
I like them plain.
He does like them plain. So, dig in. I've got blueberry here. You've got plain there.
Plain.
Both have the spices. Again, you can leave those out. I will try to take a smaller bite this time because I usually just dig in and take too big of a bite. But I love pancakes. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, anytime.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they're moist. They don't have time to dry out. They only cook for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're tender.
Those spices really
They're
come
not
through.
The spices are really good. I'm glad that I've added those. But again, if you don't want them or just want to use one or two of them, that's your choice.
What were the
Adaptable
spices we
cooking.
put in?
Cinnamon, it's a test. Nutmeg, ginger, allspice, and cloves.
Clove.
My favorite is the clove.
The clove really comes through.
It really does. So, anyway, I hope you will make these pancakes. I hope you enjoy them as much as we do. Do any kind of adaptability you want to them. please subscribe down below, somewhere down there, I don't know where that is down there, to our YouTube channel. And you can find us on Instagram, Facebook. Sean can't cook, but John can. But he's learning. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Time for some more. So good.
I love pancakes.
Mm-hmm.